Hello, Sunday Pod team. Hope you guys had a great weekend, as I did with the retreat, and hopefully you are recovering. And I don't know if some of y'all took off the day off, but I don't blame you if you did. I thought the weekend went super awesome. But we've got a quick turnaround. We've already got service on Wednesday night, and then after that we have our Sunday pods launching this Sunday, so we just, have a lot, and then hopefully after this weekend, we can just coast into a rhythm for the rest of the fall semester, which I'm really excited for. I sent you guys a few weeks ago. I mean, it was too long ago to remember, and but I sent y'all a link to our Sunday pod schedule. It looks something like this, which just has our 3 different pods available every single week in 4-week increments, and it actually worked out perfectly that we have 4 weeks in a row, and then another 4 weeks in a row, and then 2 weeks off, and then another 4 weeks in a row. So that'll work perfectly. What I'd love for you to do is I believe each of you have permission to edit this, so you can go in and put your name down for a pod. If you can do that as soon as possible, that would be great. Again, I just want you to sign up for one. It's backwards, so it's going to be hard to understand for me showing you. But I am signed up here for leadership team for the next 4 weeks. So I just put, hey, here's the topic I'm going to be doing in these 4, and then here's my name. And so for the topical, just put down which topic you're wanting to do. Or if you're just doing the Bible study, just put down like what book of the Bible or what section you're going to be reading, and then put your name next to it for whatever 4-week period you want to do. At the bottom is a list of a bunch of topics. You can scroll down and you'll see a list. Sorry, I know it's backwards. You'll see Live curriculum topics. And that's going to be when we have the topical curriculum, we're going to be using Live curriculum. I gave you access to that folder as well, so you can see everything and download whatever you want. There is a Word document and a PDF, both for the leader guide and the student guide. So the Word document version of each of those is so that you can edit them if you want, and then the PDFs are just what they provide, which look great, and I'll show you those in a second. Live curriculum is really great. If you don't want to follow the curriculum or the topics that I have downloaded, that's okay. But for now, like if it's a topic that's not there, you'll just have to do your own thing, and that's great too. Just let me know what it is, and I'll probably ask if I see something up there that I'm like, oh, that's not a Live curriculum, which again is great. If you're passionate about something that's not on there, please take full reign of what you want to do with it. Live curriculum is the leader guide PDF. I love Live curriculum because it is as exhaustive or as simple as you need it to be. They always have very large packets. So this is the choice and consequence week 1. In the choice and consequence topical series is actually an only 2-week series on Live curriculum, but because this is so exhaustive, you can turn a 2-week series into a 4-week series easy. And I used this in a small group before, and a lot of times they give you 3 points to go over, sometimes just 2 points. But I could often, with 7th grade and 8th grade boys, I could often only get like 1 point in, and we would have spent 30 minutes on it. And so what I'd love for you to do is just when you pick a topic, if you see it's only 3 weeks or you see it's only 2 weeks, just figure out ahead of time, hey, how much are we going to try and aim to get through. What's great too is they have a lot of introduction type stuff. That they have an overview. It's a leader preparation. What do you need to do to prepare beforehand, and just kind of giving you an idea of all that's going on in the curriculum. And then just pull this up here. There's a review as well, and then there's the lesson guide. And the lesson guide, what I love about this is most things are pretty optional, like inherently optional. And so like the first thing is getting things started. And they'll always have an optional hook that's like an illustration or just an activity to get students engaged. Again, it's optional, you don't have to do it, but this one's just welcome your students and invite them into your meeting area, and then ask these questions. And it's just like engaging questions that have little to do with what we're actually doing. And then what they also do is they have these sections. Again, I know it's backwards, so it's weird, but it says say something like, and it gives you a paragraph. And it just gives you that idea that you can, gives you the freedom, rather, that you can read straight from this if you want, or you can, change it and kind of make it how you want to be and how you want to lead it. And they have a main point, so they'll have point 1, point 2, and they'll have tons of questions through those. And then they'll have additional discussion that's optional. They'll have an application section. So after all of that, there's an application. So there's so much, and that's just 1 week. I mean, this is a 7-page packet, I believe. And then what you can do too is you'll see a student guide in the folder. And the student guide is really awesome. And all this information, guys, when you write down, hey, I'm going to do this topical series through Live Curriculum, I'll have Carla print it all out. So the entire series and all the student guides, multiple copies of them, will be printed out and sitting in your binder. So you can just come in Sunday morning, grab your binder, have all the information. But hopefully this will help you have it ahead of time online so you can look over it. But I don't want you to have to worry about, like, oh, I have to print all this out every week or anything like that. Because that's something super easy for us to just print out the entire series, and that way you can have the flexibility that you need to go all 4 weeks. So the student guide here is it always includes all the scripture. And what I love about Live Curriculum is that most of the time, there are times where they just kind of throw in a couple verses here and there, but most of the time they have at least one passage, if not the entire passage that they go over. That's a really long passage for you to focus on. And so they're pretty scripturally based, and I like that they point students to scripture. And so this is a really cool resource for you to have. The back or the front will have all the passages with the references, so students have them right in front of them. There's no excuse if they didn't bring their Bible. That's okay. They have this, and they can stick it in their Bible if they did bring their Bible as like a little reminder of, hey, choice and consequences. Here's the passages that we went. And then on the back is the main points. And so with plenty of space for them to put notes in and write things down. And then at the bottom, if you decide to use this, at the bottom they have a memory verse. And so that memory verse just challenges them. Usually it's one of like on this one, James 1:15, they have it on this side, and then they have it as a memory verse on the bottom because it pertains to that subject. And so you can even, if you decide, hey, I want to give out a piece of candy or something for students to remember the memory verse each week, that's great too. Again, you can take this wherever you want, but that's what I love about Live Curriculum, is it's super, super handy to be used by any sort of personality and in multiple different types of contexts. Last thing, I know this is a longer video, but I wanted to make this video instead of spending the time meeting because I knew this would only take about 10 minutes to go over. And so hopefully this is a good resource for you. But last thing is the whole goal for these groups is that I want it to be very relationally focused. I want it to be very discussion oriented. Yes, I still want you to be able to teach, but the idea is not that you're a teacher in the front talking. I want it to be more of a circle than a group of rows listening to the teacher teach. I want it to be a circle that, I mean, literally putting your chairs in a circle and making sure that we're all talking together and discussing things together. And so this is still somewhat like small group-ish, but I also don't want to confuse it with the Wednesday night small groups, and this simplifies our format and allows guys and girls to interact with each other. These Sunday morning pods are not going to be, they're not going to be like super deep in terms of vulnerability. A 7th grade boy is not going to share when there's an 8th grade girl in there on like his deepest struggles, and that's not the goal of this. The goal of this is to get students deeper into God's Word and to just be thinking about these topics more. And so I think it'll be an interesting dynamic to work through, but I think it'll be really cool to just have any grade of our middle schoolers with any gender mixed together, learning from each other. I think it will build more unity as a group, and I hope that some of our students are going to be really excited about it because they get to pick what they learn about. The aim for about 30 minutes for these group times. So if you hit 30 minutes and discussion's going well, don't cut it short, but start to try to wrap it up. If you don't make it quite to 30 minutes, that's okay too. And so the whole Sunday morning format will be, hey, we'll do a mixer. That's what's going to be different from Wednesday nights, where Wednesday nights is going to be more of like an active, engaging, exciting, fun event, whether it's on the stage or with everyone. Sunday morning is going to be more just of a mixer for them to get the blood pumping, talking to each other, getting to know each other a little better. And then we will usually do worship. It'll be a more stripped down set. And then we will go into pods. And then for 30 minutes, and then again, like that won't take up our whole time likely, and that's okay. Then we'll have more structured, unstructured time at the end where students just can hang out, have fun before the second service starts and get one last chance to just play some basketball together, play 9 square together, whatever it is, because I think that is so, again, our ministry doesn't need, or our ministry, it would be detrimental to our ministry if we had just all free time for students and they were just hanging out. And of course not. Like, we need programming, we need structure, but at the same time, there needs to be some level of just unstructured time for students to engage in community without being told what to do, without being asked to do this or that, but just to say, hey, be smart, but go and play basketball and just have the freedom to play basketball or play frisbee or just sit on the ground and talk or play volleyball, whatever it is. So again, before the end of this week, I mean, there's two pods starting this Sunday that don't have leaders signed up. There's a topical pod and a Bible study pod. So I need those spots filled. And so please consider for the next 4 weeks if you can do that. And let's try and get this whole semester filled. That would be awesome to just be able to go. And if you at any point you think that you can make it to all of them, and then something comes up or you forgot about something and you can't make it to one of your pods, that's okay. Just let the other leaders know in the group me that I created, and hopefully someone can kind of cover you as a sub, and you can give them an idea of what you're trying to accomplish in that week's pod. Part of this decision was to allow you as leaders to have the flexibility to be in an adult small church, and give you the opportunity from time to time to go, hey, I want to engage with my peers in another group. So please take advantage of that. But if you don't miss that, if you say, hey, no, I love being in junior high every week, that's okay too. And so if you're not a pod leader for one of these pod sections and you want to show up to Sunday morning, by all means show up, hang out during the mixer, worship with students, and then join another pod and sit in with the pod leader and just be a support, be another adult that just helps kind of redirect the conversation if it gets a little off base. We're still going to figure out rooms. That's going to be messy at first, I'll fully admit. We're going to figure out rooms, who goes where, what groups go where, but just give me patience with that in where we break up. So please get those filled out. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to put the link to this folder, the Sunday Pods folder. I'm gonna retext it back out into the group, and hopefully that'll be a great resource for you guys. I'm super excited for this new format, and we're just gonna try it out and see how it works for this fall. And my prayer is that this just creates more excitement on Sunday mornings for students to dive into God's Word. and while still creating opportunities for you as adults to pour into them, build relationships, get them thinking about what they believe, and challenging our students. All students have to be in a pod. Last thing, all students have to be in a pod. But we're just going to encourage our students. Hey, if you don't want to be here, that's if your parents are forcing you, we get it. You have to be in a pod. You don't have to interact, but don't distract others. So if you have a student who sits in the back because they don't want to do anything and they have their arms crossed, that's fine. You don't have to force them to answer questions. I'm just glad that they're there, and that even if they don't think they're listening, they're still hearing things. My only ask for those students is that they're not distracting anyone else. So they just sit quietly and don't be a disruption to other students. And then hopefully, they begin to open up over time. And we can just be an encouragement to any of those students who don't really want to be there. And hopefully there will be some positive peer pressure from the other students of, hey, I want to be here and I'm trying to learn. And that's another advantage of having an 8th grade girl in a group with a 6th grade boy who doesn't want to hear. Well, that 8th grade girl is going to shoot some feisty daggers and hopefully create some positive peer pressure in that. That should be it. Hopefully you listened through this whole thing. Sorry to make it longer than I anticipated, but again, I'm just thankful we can do it this way instead of having you schedule another meeting with us. So we will talk to you soon. Can't wait to start this Sunday. And again, let me know if you have any questions. Thankful for you guys. We'll see you.